Hi everyone, welcome to Awkward Author. My name is Alyssa Grasso, and this is my weekly vlog and podcast about my sometimes awkward, always awesome author life. Although this week has been a hectic week for me. As far as writing goes, I did not make much progress, guys. I'm at 75,000 words on my manuscript. I forget where I was when I spoke to you last week, but I know it wasn't much less than that because I have not made much progress this week. It's certainly not what I expected to, and it just ended up being a very hectic week. Not to get into all the details, but it was... my boyfriend had problems with his heater over there at where he lives. And, so we were running back and forth there while, technicians were coming to fix it. It happened after an oil delivery. So it was actually technicians from the oil company. And it was basically 3 days in a row of having technicians there because the first two didn't actually fix it. So it was like, and then of course it's cold there, so he can't stay there and it stinks like oil. Anyway, it got fixed, but it was like... we were just like running around like crazy people for a few days there, and it was pretty hectic. It was, and I'm not blaming him or anything for it. It's certainly not his fault, but yeah, so I did not get as much done last week as I planned to get done because, I'm shuttling him around and we're trying to get this furnace fixed. In the meantime, I also had, I had technicians coming out here last week just supposedly to do a safety check for, I have propane here, and we were getting the account switched over, so when they do that, they have to do a safety check. And I'm like, this will take 10 minutes because everything's fine. It's been in use. Well, it wasn't. It had a leak in it, so what I thought was going to be a 10-minute thing, the guys were here for 2 hours, and that was in the middle of all the other craziness going on. So it was a very crazy week. And so because of that, I did not get much writing done, and I don't know that, I could have done a better job of scheduling anything last week, but yeah, I definitely have to get myself into some kind of better routine as far as the writing goes, and some of that will just mean, the hecticness has to stop. It's been a little crazy here for months, I feel like, but yeah, also it's, I gotta somehow make the time, and I know this from experience. I have been writing just about my whole life, certainly my whole adult life in one way or another, but I've also always had jobs. I've never written full time. And so that means, trying to schedule things in a way that works and trying to make time when you don't really feel like you have time. When you're working 2 jobs, it can be tough to also squeeze in writing. But you do have to find ways to do that. And I know that, trying to think of things in the past, I just didn't watch television. Television is nice, but it was I didn't have time to write and I wanted to write. So, I didn't watch any television. I don't really watch much now, but I do watch some television. Now, if I'm really serious about writing, I should probably be cutting that out so I could get some more work done. And then there's just other little things you could do. You can wake up earlier, you could try going to bed later. That doesn't always work for me because I fall asleep. But there are different ways, different strategies you can employ to try to kind of squeeze writing time into your day. If you have a job where you have a lunch break, you can work on your lunch break. I recently started, using dictation as a way to do some writing, and I haven't really been doing it, and part of the reason I haven't been doing it is it's winter and it's cold, and I've been using an iPod Touch for dictation, and mainly I was using it when I was walking the dog, which, is something I have to do every day, takes some time, and it's a good time, your thoughts are going and stuff. So it's a good time for writing and, for dictation type writing. But in the winter, it's a pain in the butt with gloves trying to work with electronic devices and stuff, and so that's my excuse there. But definitely, dictation is one way to squeeze in some more writing time. You could write if you have a commute, you can use dictation to write while you're driving to work, or I don't know. I use it. I have weird things that I have to do, feeding my dog, which for normal people isn't really something that takes a lot of time. But with my dog, with Jack, it means a lot of time of me sitting there next to him or standing there while he eats like one piece at a time. It's and like I have to lure him to the food and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a bit crazy. What can I say? But yeah, so that's a good time for me to get some dictation work done. So, that is not something I've been doing lately, but I definitely have to get back into if I want to, reach my goals and get some work done. I've been listening to Paul Teague's podcast, Self-Publishing Journeys podcast. I don't know if you are familiar with it. If you're not, you should definitely listen to it. He's definitely a lot further along in the self-publishing game than I am, and right now he's just making tremendous progress in terms of writing. Like, he is keeping to his schedule that he's written 2 books this year. I mean, they're still in draft form, I believe, or the one is, I think he's actually in the process of editing, but it's March and he's written 2 books. That's awesome. Yeah, I still am working on the same one that I was working on in the fall, but I'm getting there, guys, little by little. And yeah, I do expect, well, who knows what life is going to throw at me next, but no, I do expect to have this draft done pretty soon. And then I will be moving on to the next one. At some point I'll go back and edit the first one, but I like to let something sit for a little while before I get to it, and I'm getting ahead of myself because I still haven't finished the draft yet, but I have started working on the outline for the next book. Just begun that. I even started working on an outline for another book, which I probably shouldn't have, but I had like an idea in my head, so I was like sketching some stuff out. So yeah, I don't know if that's forward momentum or what kind of momentum that is, but yeah, just some different things I was thinking about. Anyway, I am moving forward slowly. I wish I was moving forward at a better pace, but hey, it is what it is, and hopefully, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully this week is nowhere near as hectic as last week. In fact, if it's not hectic at all, I would be fine with that. I would be perfectly fine with that. And, who knows? Maybe when I talk to you next week, I could be like, hey, I finished my draft. But we'll see. I'm not going to count those chickens before they hatch. Definitely not. Oh, and for those of you that are here in the United States, as you know, we actually lost an hour this week. So, the forces of the universe were acting against me this week. It felt like we have this stupid daylight savings time, which it's like such a pain, and I don't know why we still do this. I really have no idea. Like, it goes back to something, and I don't even know. I think something to do with railroads or farms or something that like totally isn't even like a thing anymore, and yet we still insist on doing this, and it's just everyone gets so cranky because like it's like we lose an hour, we're waking up in the dark, it just sucks. People die like because of this. No, really, they do. I know that's a crazy thing to say, but it was happening in the fall. Like we start daylight savings time now sooner than we ever did before, and we end it later than we ever did before. And that's because there are people who are like, oh, I want it to be light out when I come home from work, which is ridiculous, because what happens is schools like let out here like around 2:30, 3 o'clock, so they start very early. So when we are in daylight savings time, it's actually very dark in the morning. It's just in the spring and the fall, like, for the summer, because the days are longer, it isn't an issue. But also over the summer we don't have school. So what happens is like there's always kids getting killed at bus stops and stuff. We had like several that happened in the fall, I think, and hopefully nothing happens this year. I haven't heard any reports yet, but it happens all the time, because it's like, they're at the bus stop in the dark, and that's because we have this ridiculous daylight savings time, and that is me just ranting about something that I can't stand. So I'm sorry about that, but yeah, end daylight savings time. Okay, and that'll be the end of my rant, and that'll be the end of this video and podcast. And I will maybe try to get some work done and make some more progress on my writing. So I do apologize for venting, and hopefully when I talk to you next, I will actually have made some progress, and there won't be any weird crazy, unexpected, hectic things happening. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I do record and put out these videos and podcasts every week. If you enjoyed it, please like this or subscribe or, leave me a comment. If you'd like to know more about me, you can visit my website, which is alyssagrosso.com. That's ALISSAGROSSO.com. If you like, you can sign up for my mailing list and get a free ebook. So I hope you have a great week. If you are writing, I hope you make a lot of progress. Whatever you're doing, I hope everything is awesome for you, and I hope that it is not hectic for any of us. So take care, guys. I will see you again soon.